You're watching Central Illinois' best source for news and weather. WAND News Today starts now.
The Weather Service confirms now 2 EF1 tornadoes touched down in central Illinois, one in Logan County and the other in Vermilion County. WAND's Darren Mullen has been following the reports of damage and shows us how central Illinois is recovering.
The winds were whipping from different directions.
It threw a trailer into the shed.
We wondered if it'd be safe to go to bed.
From Lincoln to Cisco and many places in between, the storms hit with a furious punch.
It came through with a big roar and a big bang, and trees started falling.
Ron Wisher and the Cisco Fire Protection District spent their morning doing what most everyone else did: survey the damage and form a plan of action.
We went to the rural areas and made sure that everybody was safe there and marked the roads where they were blocked. We've had a lot of very good help.
In Logan County, the damage was just as widespread.
We know most everything that was on the property has gotten some damage to it. We just don't know the extent yet.
Grain bins were tossed like toys, trees and power poles broken like twigs. But many say this could have been much worse.
Just very thankful and grateful that it didn't do more damage, because it could have taken the whole house.
Darren Mullen, WAND News.
Now, Ameren, Illinois says around 1,000 homes are still without power in Illinois after Wednesday night's storms. And in Menard County, a sheriff's deputy had a close call after his patrol car was smashed by a tree. That happened while he was traveling on Illinois 97 just south of New Salem State Park. The deputy was not hurt. And to stay up to date with the latest weather conditions, download the WAND News Center app. It has an up-to-date radar. You can track those storms. It's available for Apple and Android devices.
Well, coming up on WAND News at noon, 2 people shot and police now looking for a suspect. The shooting investigation underway in Champaign. Well, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on WAND News at noon. I'm caryneisert. We'll have a quick look at our forecast with Bob in just a moment. But first, new developments this afternoon. A second person arrested in the death of a Decatur 2-year-old. WAND's Darren Mullen joins me now. Darren, who do police have in custody?
Karen, Decatur police arrested the mother's boyfriend. This man, Anthony Myers, was arrested this morning in connection to the death of 2-year-old Tanaja Barnes. The 25-year-old is facing preliminary charges of endangering the life of a child, endangering a child resulting in death, and murder. Myers is set to appear in court tomorrow morning at 8:30. The child's mother appeared in court yesterday. Twanka Davis was formally charged in Tanaja's death. Her bond is set for $1 million. We'll have more on this developing story coming up at 4, 5, and 6. Live in the studio, Darren Mullen, WAND News.
Got some breaking news for you this morning. 2 people are behind bars and police are searching for a third suspect in connection to a shooting on Sunday that left 1 person injured. Now, 18-year-old Shannon Barnes and 19-year-old Alyssa Jenkins are arrested in connection to a shooting that hurt a 20-year-old man. Charleston police say they responded to a shooting off of West Buchanan Street Sunday. When they arrived, they found a 20-year-old victim with a gunshot wound. Now, the victim says his home was burglarized by someone he knew. Now, police are searching for a juvenile suspect, and they are considering him armed and dangerous. So if you know anything about this shooting, contact Charleston police. Now, meteorologist Jessica Dobson is tracking some strong storms that are traveling through our area. Jessica, what can we expect throughout today?
So that's right. We are tracking some stronger showers and storms that are just outside of our viewing area, but we are expecting the potential for a couple strong but maybe severe storms as we head throughout the next couple of hours. Let's go ahead and take a live look outside from our Flooring America weather bug camera. This is overlooking Warrensburg, Latham. You can see a bit of a mellow afternoon, a bit foggy, but otherwise we're mainly dry. But as we look at live Doppler 3 Max, that's not the case just outside of our viewing area. Places near Quincy, Illinois, and Peoria, you're picking up on in the way of some showers and thunderstorms. A few of those packing a bit of a punch with gusts as high as around 40 miles per hour, and some pea-sized hail has been reported there so far. So this broken line is slowly working off to the east, and this is where we're kind of monitoring the potential of any isolated cells that could pop out ahead of that. That could be bringing us the potential for some of those isolated stronger storms as well. Temperatures across the area, we can definitely see where this warm front is placed, and that's going to be a key component for seeing the potential for a couple of those stronger storms this afternoon. Temperatures ranging anywhere from the upper 40s into the middle and upper 60s for some of us. So yes, quite the range temperature-wise. And as we plan out the rest of today, off and on shower and storm chances will last throughout the overnight hours, as well as temperatures stay a few degrees shy of our seasonal average. I'll talk more on our shower and storm chances and how long those will last coming up in my full forecast. Karen?
Thanks, Jessica. An instructor at the University of Illinois is now calling for the school's chancellor and provost to resign. John Becknick is the faculty member at the university and claims the U of I broke an agreement to drop its investigation into Joe Petrie. The university says it is still investigating sexual misconduct claims against Petrie. Petrie put in his resignation in the middle of the investigation, which is effective May 31st.
My observation point, it seems the administration is more interested in managing PR problems than protecting student safety, than doing what's right. That's the only reason to agree to, hey, you retire, you get your pension, and you go away.
Now, WAND News has reached out to the U of I for a comment, but have yet to hear back. Ben Bennick says Petrie could sue the school for continuing the investigation. He also says he's called the Illinois State Police to get involved because the university has a conflict of interest in the case. The identity of a woman who died in a crash in Springfield is released. The Sangamon County coroner says 49-year-old Lorena Murray died after her truck hit a tree Friday on South 11th Street near University Drive. Springfield police are still investigating the crash. And a 16-year-old will spend 30 months probation for their role in an Urbana high school fight. The fight broke out in February after police say it stemmed from two groups feuding. The fight forced Urbana High School to dismiss early, and 8 students were arrested. The team pled guilty to mob action charges. Well, after investigating reports of 2 men impersonating U.S. Marshals, the Petersburg Police Department says the reports were fake. On Sunday, police received multiple reports of 2 men claiming to be U.S. Marshals looking for a stolen cell phone while searching a home in Petersburg. Police say after interviewing all parties, it was clear the report was made after the information had been passed through text and social media. No criminal action was taken. And the accused kidnapper and killer of University of Illinois scholar will appear in court today after his attorneys say they're dropping the mental illness defense. Brent Christensen's lawyer planned to use the defense to avoid the death penalty. Could he be convicted? But in a filing on Friday, his lawyers say Christensen decided to formally withdraw the mental health defense. Christensen is accused in kidnapping and killing the University of Illinois scholar Ying Zhang. Well, St. Louis police officer pled not guilty for the death of a fellow officer. Nathaniel Hendren says he did not kill 24-year-old Caitlin Alex. Both were members of the St. Louis Police Department. Police say Hendren killed Alex while playing a game of Russian roulette. Well, new details, DCFS will now care for the little brother of the boy police say was killed by his parents. McHenry County prosecutors have filed a petition to terminate Joanne Cunningham and Andrew Feud Sr.'s parental rights for the little brother. The couple did agree to let DCFS care for the little brother. Police say the two beat AJ to death then reported him missing 3 days later. Meanwhile, DCFS is at the center of investigation again for another child's death. A McLean County grand jury indicted Cynthia Baker for the death of an 8-year-old family member. DCFS says it tried to investigate the welfare of the child multiple times before her death. The investigation became involved with that family in 2014. Well, Dove Incorporated is calling on you to volunteer. The nonprofit is currently offering domestic violence education and volunteer training. The training outlines issues surrounding domestic violence. The organization says volunteers can start with the program after taking the course.
I think it's important to get as many people involved so that people understand what happens in our community, understand that domestic violence definitely exists.
The training is Monday through Thursday in the afternoon in Decatur. To sign up, call the number on your screen. There is a training fee. Well, statistics show 1 in 3 women in the U.S. have experienced some form of violence by their partner. WAND's Tristan Hardy shows us how cosmetologists in Central Illinois are being taught to look for signs of abuse when their clients visit.
Start filing in, just don't take the bear back.
Working in the field of cosmetology means your job is more than just shampooing and trimming. The client sitting in that chair could be a friend, someone they can confide in.
And very often you have to play what counts. They're kind of the heroes. Very often they're the first people that a victim will disclose to.
That client could also be a victim of domestic violence. That's why Angie Hunt, who works at a domestic violence shelter, is here to teach these students how to look for the signs of abuse.
Someone is maybe, missing hair, or if there are bruises, certainly.
Is that nearly 50% of female homicides in the United States are committed at the hands of an intimate partner.
The state says all cosmetologists, cosmetology teachers, hair braiders, and nail technicians have to take an hour-long, one-time continuing education course on domestic violence. It's part of their license renewal process.
Because a lot of people, when they sit in our chair, it's like a place for them to relax, and they're going to open up to us, and if we don't know how to handle it, it'll continue to go on.
Hunt says domestic violence is about power and control.
I've heard a lot of stories from cosmetologists who have clients where their partner decides everything about, how their hair is, how it's cut, how it's colored, that kind of thing.
To Hunt, teaching these stylists will help victims and survivors in the long run.
So it's just kind of giving, stylists the support that they need to be able to do their job.
So Jessica, you say that we're tracking some strong storms now.
So they're mainly just outside of our viewing area as we speak, but it's something we're keeping a really close eye on because a few of these could be on the stronger side. Even if they're not, they're likely going to be packing some gusty winds, heavy rain, some frequent lightning, that kind of thing. So something keeping a close eye on this afternoon. You shouldn't be panicked at all. Just make sure to stay prepared,
of course,
as always. And one of the reasons why we are seeing these showers and storms is we're seeing this warm front lift northward. And we started off this morning with temperatures in the 50s. Overnight tonight, we're expecting temperatures, overnight lows, to only be in the 60s. Yeah, so quite a big difference from what we saw earlier this morning. We were pretty close to average. Fairly comfortable start to our day temperature-wise. So started off in the upper 40s, low 50s. Now I'll be talking more on those shower chances we have in the forecast and the possibility of a few of those being on the strong side coming up after the break.